Is it, Vader? It's time for you and me to have another showdown. Welcome back to our final installment of Super Empire, because there's really one other thing we have to do. We have to have our confrontation with Vader, and we have to win. I love it. He's all fancy with his swinging, and I'm just like, do or die.
All too easy.
All too easy. Oh.
Yes, most impressive.
And by praying, he broke the window. Because that's how that works, right?
Yep.
All right, so
Dun, dun, dun,
this
dun.
technically pulls you into the second segment of the Vader level, but this is really where the game ends. So from here on is basically the final confrontation with Vader, where the pivotal moment happens, where we find out that, spoiler alert, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. I actually did have a neighbor kid who found that out via these games.
Oh, cool.
He was like,
He what?
he found out via these games, like he'd never seen Empire before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And that's like kids my age. That's not entirely out of the question. Return of the Jedi would probably be the ones that they know. So at that point, the reveal isn't necessarily emphasized because you already know it. You know, episode 6 assumes that you've already seen episode 5. So at that point, if you haven't, then well, you're screwed. Because you've been spoiled and hard.
I mean, that's kind of the point of a trilogy.
Yep. Besides, we're kids. We didn't care. We cared about lightsabers.
Yeah.
And we cared about X-Wings.
Lightsabers and X-Wings and Millennium Falcons.
Maybe metal bikini. I don't know.
No, that's more if you're a teenager.
I don't know. There was a girl in the neighborhood who was like, who was trying to give fashion tips to Leia when the metal bikini came out. I was like, oh, that's so gaudy. Like, I think this is just because you're trying to be like your sister, but okay. Oh, dude. Oh, crap. I have no force. No force.
Force is not with you now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I can save myself from a platform drop. And here it is, the final bit of the game. So now you get the legit Darth Vader boss fight. And it's hard as crap. I'm not even gonna lie. So here we go. This is basically a battle of survival. Just to give you guys kind of an explanation, it's a survival bout. Like, you're not even trying to kill him as fast as you possibly can. You're looking to survive. So in the middle of all of this stuff, you want to make sure that you're keeping your health meter up and you're keeping your force meter up, especially during this this phase where he starts bringing crap in to kill you, because that's how you get your force back. So look at all the fancy schmancy fencing that we're doing. And
you're dead.
Dead. That's all right. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all 6 attempts that I did on this guy, but he was that nasty. So that's another quick thing you can do, is you can do the saber toss if you have it, and just do as much damage to him as you possibly can, and then wait until the next junk phase and get your force back. So I've got a force power up. Yay! And usually in this junk phase, you will get a full bar of force, so don't worry too much about it. You can indulge on the healing during the fight. I actually think that was a good design choice in retrospect, because kids were going to do that. Like, they were going to heal as much as they could possibly. That was probably a good way to approach things. Ah, crap. I just saw the force power up drop. I'm feeling the pain, and I'm not even playing the game right now. I was like, no! You gotta kill all the junk! And as this thing goes along, he actually will get harder in the fact he'll do more junk phases. He will transition in his phases differently. So again, this is more just survive. As you guys can see, his boss bar is not going down that fast.
Yeah, it seems like yours is getting cut off pretty good.
And before people start screaming like, you should have pulled out a blaster, I don't even recommend a blaster for this fight. Because once the junk happens, you're screwed. You really do need to have the lightsaber out so you can take care of all of the junk. Most impressive. You heard him, Alex. We're most impressive. There we go. And another phase. And the further along we go, the more junk phases he'll do. And makes you cry a little bit. I do remember seeing a couple of YouTube guides where people would also use the saber toss by this point too. I don't even want to. It's such a survival bout. Also, if you don't know the saber block, which I can already tell you was my brother's fatal shortcoming, if you don't know the saber block, you are screwed in this fight. Because he will waste you. Eventually, his saber will do more damage than you. Oh, more junk! More junk! So how do we feel about this? Like, this is the first time Vader was ever personified in video game format, aside from the NES one that we can't talk about.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is Vader. This is not a scorpion pretending to be Vader.
Yeah.
Right? You have to point that out, everybody. And he flies like Superman, by the way. I'm Super Vader! I'm here to save your cat, who's stuck in a tree, and then murder her because she tried to take the throne away from me. Yay! We're doing really good, and this is where it's like cringe time for me when I played this. I'm like, oh jeez, I've got him so low. I've got him so low. He's down to his last 5 dots. He's down to his last 4 dots. More dots.
It just feels like you're not getting
3.
You're not getting any closer.
And now he's just gonna start tossing junk in the middle of fighting you with his lightsaber. So now is the time to nuke him down. He ain't taking your crap no more. He is, to coin a World of Warcraft term, enraged. He is enraged. He is going to kill you. And unfortunately, we can't hit him right now, but he's down to his last 1.5.
1.5.
1 freaking percent.
0.5%.
Boom!
Dead.
Yay!
Stage clear, stage is clear.
Was it worth it? Probably not. Troubled by the uncertain fate of Han Solo, the rebels narrowly escaped the Imperial forces on Bespin. Wow, the perspective on that drawing is really weird.
Why is it weird?
Because it is. And rejoined the rebel fleet. I don't know if that pause was needed, but okay. Congratulations, young Jedi! You have beaten the evil Imperial Lord Darth Vader, master of the dark side. You have escaped from the clutches of the Empire with your friends, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, C-3PO, and R2-D2. You have learned much about the Force, and it is strong with you. Soon you will be a true Jedi Knight, but first you must complete your training with Yoda and overcome your fears by facing Vader again. The Super NES saga and battle against the Empire continues in Super Return of the Jedi, where you must rescue your friend Han Solo from the slimy Jabba the Hutt and confront Vader and the Emperor himself. Remember, the Force is with you. Always. That's a nice way to end things out. Yay! We're all happy and all that. And credits. So, we are finally to the end of Super Empire Strikes Back, one of the hardest games on the Super Nintendo library. Alex, what are your final thoughts on it?
I don't think I have any more thoughts. Everything I've already said before.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's hard as crap, it's still very good. It's still very well designed, and considering, you know, Star Wars adaptations don't happen that much, I still would recommend it to people. Just try it on the easiest difficulty, see how well you do.
John Knowles.
Andrea, how are you feeling about Super Empire?
It's a nice way for a early title for a NES game.
Yeah, it's got its lasting value.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, so we didn't actually get to see this, but the game over screen, I think we got to see in Super Star Wars, it's Vader. In Empire, it's actually this picture of Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And you only get, the other thing that was difficult about
Voice
this is like,
Yoda.
I think Super Star Wars gave you 10 continues, this gives you 5. So you actually could see Yoda quite a bit. And I think the ending one for Return is the Emperor. So there you go. The producers wish to thank everybody at Skywalker Sound North, Sculpture Software Incorporated, and LucasArts Entertainment Company for their excellent work and contributions.
Copyright 1993 by LucasArts.
So yeah, my final thoughts are it's hard as crap. Will I play it again? Probably not. I have my accomplishment. I'm okay with it. But let's go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. And when we return on Friday the next time, well, we did this one. No, I will not try Brave Mode. You will not convince me to try Brave Mode. But after that, it's time, Alex, that we return to something a little bit more mild, something a little bit more welcoming. It's time to return to the magical world of Pokemon.
Yes. Welcome to the wonderful world of Pokemon.